Well, we've had the State of the Nation address for the second 5-year Zuma presidency. And quite honestly, I don't blame any trade unions for being, well, somewhat cynical about the whole affair. I don't know how many of you remember or even know that more than a decade ago, we were told that in order to improve the lot of all South Africans, we needed an economic growth rate of 6%. We never made it. Now we have a new target, 5%. Yet we have many more mouths to feed. And we're going to achieve it, allegedly, by 2019. That's 5 years from now, when there'll be even more mouths to feed. But at least we did have, from the President, finally an admission that South Africa, and the rest of the world for that matter, suffers from an ongoing economic crisis. But it's a crisis that affects mainly the poorest of the poor. And at the same time, however, the government keeps assuring us that there are many more social grants being awarded. This is true. However, I think that a social grant is actually a badge of poverty. For example, take the pension. If you are a person between the ages of 60 and 70, 1,350 Rand a month scarcely qualifies as anything less than poverty. And most pensioners in that position, if they're over 70, it's actually 20 Rand more, 1,370. Most of those pensioners have to share that pension with a host of dependents. And you know, if we look at the figures that came out this week from the Office of the Statistician General, we have a massive and growing youth unemployment problem. In fact, in youth unemployment, we're among the world leaders. So many of these youngsters would be living with grandparents, with a grandmother usually, sharing that pittance. But it's not just those on social grants and the unemployed who are among the poor. There are also the working poor, what Zwelinzima Vavi, the General Secretary of COSATU, calls the working poor. Because, you know, in this country today, the majority of people who are fortunate enough to be in work still earn less than the 3,000 to 4,000 Rand a month that the unions say is the bare minimum living wage. And this is something I decided to concentrate on, not the platinum strike or what's going on there. It should be settled at some stage. I decided to concentrate on that in my Inside Labour column this week, which you can read on this platform, Fin24, tomorrow, and in print in the City Press on Sunday in the business section. I've also, you see, over the years, monitored a basket of basic necessities. Same supermarket, same products, same time of the month, over many years. And what I've done now is I've looked at the past 5 years and said, right, what this basket comprised of, which was mealie meal, flour, cooking oil, those sorts of things, the sort of products that the lower income families tend regularly to buy. Now, what that boiled down to when I looked at the comparisons, 100 Rand 5 years ago bought this basket. It costs 165 today. That's a 65% increase. Now, if wages for the lowest paid have not increased 65% in 5 years, and many of them have not, it means that the poorest of the poor have simply become poorer. That's what I'll be writing about, and that's what I want to hear you to comment on. I want you to comment, to give us your opinions, to tell us what the situation is regarding people you know, or yourselves, because prices have risen right across the board, and so have wages, of course. So what is the state of not your nation, but your household, your budget? Are you better or worse off 5 years down the line? That's what we want to hear from you. Just drop us a line to editor@fin24.com. That's editor@fin24.com. You may even wish to comment on the call for an economic codessa that some people have made, or, for example, the intention by the National Union of Metal Workers, NUMSA, to call for a People's Assembly to decide on a new and alternative way forward. But that's over to you, because this is your platform as much as it is mine. And for this week, that's all from me. Cheers.